we will get started. All right. Just takes a second. Okay, great. Before we get going here, just gonna close that up. I hope everybody had a great week so far. I can't believe that it's all zooming by, and we were just checking in on weather here in New York. I have been, as you can see, I have a sweater behind me. It goes from like cold to hot to cold. Will this be recorded? Yes, Judy. We usually record these. It's live right now on YouTube, and that's where it lives. So if you ever want to watch it again, it's there. But welcome everyone. So wonderful to see you. I'll talk to you a little bit about our artist in just a minute. But at first, I would like to say that the link to the reference photos are in the chat. Those of you on Zoom joining us, it is in the chat. And if you folks on YouTube would like to join us, the info to sign up should be in the comments there or in the description. Just sign up, and then next time in July, you could be right here with us. I feel like half the fun of doing these Painting with Joys is seeing everybody's artwork, like as we're creating. To me, that's like my favorite part. So if you are on YouTube and you want to come join us, just register through there. All right, we are filling in. Thank you so much for those of you that joined us today. So exciting. I would like to give a giant shout out to our coffee club folks: Barbara, Susan, Deb, Miss Katz, Mary, Ingrid, Heather, Lisa, Sylvia, Jean, Christine, Fran, Asma, Jen, the Levine family, Gail, Candy, and those that want to stay anonymous. Thank you for supporting. It helps with hosting and so on. And other fees. So thank you so much. And I am hoping to do a coffee club session in July. I will keep you posted on that because I do miss those, and we had so much fun when we were doing them before. So I want to get back to doing that. All right. So question for you before we get going. We are going to be talking about Matisse. So something that you learned about Matisse, or maybe you think somebody may not know. To me, as I was learning about him, one of the things that I learned was when he was young, he actually was going to study to be a lawyer, not a painter, right? And so when he got sick, that's when somebody gave him a box of paints, and he's just like, oh, I'll start painting. And it's interesting how it changed the trajectory of his life. So that's something to think about. What about you? What did you see, or what did you think? Okay, so Mary Lee says he had so many talents and his art has far more breadth than I was aware of. I know, it's amazing. I'm going to share with you one of my favorite quotes about Matisse. Fauvism, yes, I've never heard that word before. It's such a colorful, the types of art and artist that did the Fauvist art is so, and I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but so amazing. I'm going to spotlight myself because just in case. Okay, there we go. And Jane says he failed to gain entrance to art school, came in the back door with open teacher. Right, teachers are so pivotal in people's lives. So if you're an educator or you work with teachers or in school, thank you. Okay, so let's keep going. Judy's putting in Fauvism, beastly. They were beast in their art, was accepted with laughter, right? For some reason, to me, that type of art just really resonates. So I'm super, like, I love it so much. I'm having weird sounds. One second. Does anybody know what that is? Can you hear that beeping sound? No? Okay, good. I'm not sure what it is, but we will. It sounds like somebody's one of my children's alarm, so we'll just let it go. As long as you don't hear it. You don't hear it? Okay, great. Okay. All right. So his collage work towards the end of his life was amazing. Yes, absolutely was. Oh, so excited. Okay, the reason why I picked Matisse back in 2021 when we started Painting with Joy, he was one of the artists that really just spoke to me. And one of the art that we're doing today, we're revisiting it. We're revisiting it because it just fills me with joy whenever I practice it. And so I just want us to go back to that again and just revisit the colorful landscapes. And what we'll do is we'll translate those colorful landscapes into our own interpretation using Matisse as our guide. Okay, so for supplies, we have my usual. I have my watercolors. Those of you on Zoom, I'm gonna switch my camera so you won't see my face, but okay. Here's my watercolor set. This is the old Holbein set that I've had since 2019, I believe. It has lasted this long. It's amazing. This is just a random set of different watercolors, and I think there might be gouache in there. I cannot remember. I have the thing where it shows. Let me just switch this real quick. It shows the. You know how like when you fill out a palette and then you write down what it is, but I can't find where it is, so I have to look. Okay, and then I have the oil pastel. So to answer Marcy's question, I love using the Pentel oil pastels, and I'm not telling you to go buy these, but these are so cheap. I think it's like $8 for this set, and there's 50 of them, and this has been with me since, I don't know, like 2020? I've had this for a while. This one is the Gallery oil pastels, and I feel like they're just medium buttery. Whereas the Sennelier, I hope I'm saying that right, set is just super, super gooey, especially if it's like a really hot day. It might be even messier. So that's just some things to think about. And then, what do I have? I have my markers. I'm just going to be zooming back and forth here. Here's a set of, this is how I store my markers. They're just like in this, let me switch my camera. They're in this bucket. And then I kind of just set them like this. And it's just all the different kinds that I have. And so usually when I'm creating, I have it just like right in front of me. So if I want something, I just easy grab. So it's on the table at all times. Okay, so I think that's it. I have color pencils too. Color pencils. And I have them all in front of me also. All right, I always like to just tell you what I have. Water, don't forget the water. I have some round brushes. We'll probably start off, here's a round brush. We'll probably start off with some watercolor, and then we'll throw in all sorts of things, the kitchen sink. Okay, so here's my favorite quote from Matisse. Can you see that? It says, "Don't wait for inspiration, it comes while one is working." And to me, it just speaks so much to me, especially when those days where you just don't feel like doing any art and just, you know, you just don't want to do anything, but inspiration does come when you start working. So I feel like show up, and you just never know what's going to come out. Some of the things, experiments that I've done, I end up liking or incorporating, and those are some of the days where I'm just like, I just don't want to do this. but showing up really, really helps. I also love this, that if you could see that, he's in bed, he's bedridden, but he's still painting. So I keep this little thing with me on my canvas behind me, or on my easel, so that I can always see that. Right? Carolina, greetings from Chile. Joy, so glad to have you join us. Thank you. Hopefully the weather is nice where you are. All right, so let's get started. All that talking, let's get started. I'm just looking for a blank page, which I think I'm going backwards here. There we go. All right, so I have my reference photo here. Just gonna turn it so you can see. And can everybody see that okay? And if you don't have your, if you don't have this printed, you don't ever have to have these things printed. Just, you could use mine. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit. Okay, all right, we'll get going. So first of all, I'm just gonna take a look at this page. And how's your hands, by the way? Do they feel like, do you feel good? Do you feel like we could just jump right in? Sometimes I always want to do a warm-up, but but then sometimes I just want to jump in. So maybe we'll just jump in and then see how we do, and then we can always, you could just go like this for a little bit as a warm-up for your hands if you want. Just stretch them out, I recommend dancing before painting with Joy sessions. That's always a favorite of mine. Turn up the music and dance. If you have teenage boys like I do, it's so much fun to embarrass them. So I always just do all of my dance moves. Anyway. Before I forget, I also want to shout out my parents. Hi, Mom and Dad, all the way to the Philippines. I forgot to shout you out last time, so I just wanted to say hello. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to put this to the side. I want you to be able to see it too, so this is going to be tricky. I think I'm going to go like this. All right, so I always, can you see that? Hopefully you can see that. Okay. Since moving my my desk back to the window side, everything is just a little bit trickier with how I'm doing the camera and so on. So I apologize if things are a little wacky. Okay, so first of all, I'm gonna start with watercolor. So I'm just gonna, here's my water. Just gonna dip water and then paints. I'm going to try to do, I don't know why, but I always love the mountains first, so I'm going to add that first. Hopefully you can see that. Okay. Is that okay? Does that view okay for you? Okay. I just want to make sure. I don't want it to be annoying for you. Okay, very loose. Just being very loose right now. Just watercolor and then just plopping things down. We're just plopping. It's like a map. Then I'm adding the mountain up here. And in spirit of Matisse, we're not going to try to make it look exactly like he would have done it, but this is in his, kind of in the way of how he creates. Okay, so of course I'll keep talking about Matisse as we're going here. So you keep painting. Do you like the broken marks of his paint? I love that. I feel like when I do this, it mimics the oil paint and the brushwork. I just love that broken brushwork. Okay, so in looking at this, I'm already seeing that I'm probably gonna have to, I might not get the whole thing here. Are you able to get the whole thing here? I always do this. I always start and then I make it too big. Oh well. Okay, I'm gonna add, this is the little steeple here. It's just gonna be messy. If you have any questions, please put them in the chat or you can ask them. I am just sketching super fast. I'm using an oil or a Premiere Pro color pencil, but I kind of like using these watercolor ones. So I'll dip that. Every time I move it, my picture moves, so I'm just gonna try to fix it. Okay. Stay. I could lock this. 1 second. I'm try to, well, I'm just gonna leave it because if I mess around with it some more, hopefully you can see that. Okay. All right, so here's the building, and I am not going to be able to do the whole thing. Already, there's an issue of sizing. I am the worst at sizes. I don't know if you have ever done this, but I am constantly like, I will order something on Amazon, for example, like a lotion size, and it will come and it'll be gigantic because I don't read the size, or like it'll be super, super tiny. My family laughs at me whenever I do that, but what can you do? What can you do? Okay, here's the, one of these has a yellow roof, so I'm gonna add that. Hopefully you can see that okay. I'm just gonna check, keep going, I'm just gonna check my, check all these things to make sure you can still see it. Okay, just brighten that up just a tiny bit. All right. Yeah, so I always order the wrong size. One time I bought a sketchbook and I thought it was just gonna be this size, and it came, and maybe they sent me the wrong thing, but it was like gigantic. I could not believe it. Okay, adding some blues. I'm just gonna go wild and just like make my own kind of buildings. So I'm just plopping things on there. So don't feel like you have to follow what I'm doing as usual. You just do what you would like to do. I would like that to be more pink. I love this scene. I just love it so much. It encourages me to actually paint outside. But I'm going to give you your homework ahead of time. Can you go outside and do some painting? If you do, do you want to maybe, I want to encourage you to maybe try to paint bright, reinterpret some of the color work maybe, and make it super bright like Matisse did. Okay, stay. It's not staying, so I'm just gonna, oh. Okay, so let's see here. I'm gonna do my oil pastels now. Get them smushing around. I'm gonna put it right here next to me and put the picture. It's a lot of moving parts here. Okay, I'm gonna move this down so you can still kind of see it. I want you to be able to see it, so I'll just, it's very tricky for some reason. Okay, hopefully you can still see it. I'm gonna take some blue and I'm just gonna make those marks on the side, kind of smush the colors in. Okay, smushing some blue. And don't feel like you have to have it look exact. Remember, we're just being inspired. And sometimes I switch back and forth. So here's a different blue because this one is a little bit more wide. I love that there's like just random greens everywhere, so I'm just gonna add that. Everybody doing okay? I hope so. I'm gonna add green. I love the colors that, you know, like green next to the pink, next to the red, next to the orange. These are just some things to think about when you're painting. Like, how can we make these colors pop? Okay, pink. Everybody's so quiet and focused. I love it. I'm gonna add rooftop, which doesn't really match what Matisse had, but I'm just gonna go ahead and add it. Don't be afraid to just go for it, okay? That's what I'm gonna encourage you to do. Don't be afraid to just go for it, and it doesn't matter if it doesn't look exact. As you can see, mine's already wonky, different, already different from the original photo, but that's okay. That's where your handwriting comes through. Only you can write in this way. We're just being inspired. Okay, I'm gonna keep going. I hope I'm not giving anybody like motion sickness while I'm moving this back and forth. How did we do this before? I feel like we were able to have the photo next to me and then you still be able to see it, but for some reason I feel like it's not working, but there. All right. No, iPad. It keeps moving. Okay, I'm just gonna keep going here. Adding some deep blues. So just kind of keep this in mind, especially since we're gonna be translating this into our own landscape. I love this green. Just gonna get a different green. I'm gonna move this for a second. I think I'm so happy you're here. I don't know if I already said that, but I just want to say super grateful that you all are able to join me in my misbehaving iPad today. Let me just move this down. Okay. So still adding some green. Just so relaxing. Who have you who is an artist that just like really inspires you to where when you do artwork like this, you're just like, wow, I'm so excited, I can't wait. To me, it's Matisse and Van Gogh. They just have a special place in my heart that I feel like I just have to always paint. You know, when I'm not sure what I'm doing, I always end up going back to them. I just love them so much. How about you? Who is it? I'm trying to let me know while you put it in the chat. I'm gonna try to see if I could lock the way this goes. Give me just a second. Let me see. And of course, like, you know what? I think I have it as a regular book. So let me see if I can. Well, nobody has any. Let me see. Mine's Van Gogh. Everybody's just so focused. Okay. You can keep focusing. You don't have to share, but if you want to, I would love to know who your favorite artist is that you're just like super inspired by. Okay, Crystal Tan always inspires me. Van Gogh, Monet, Matisse, oh, Julie. His cutouts, I know, it's just so inspiring. Really, truly is. Thank you for sharing. I'm going to take some red. I'm going to stop messing with this, and it's just going to be what it's going to be. I appreciate your patience. Adding some blue. And like I said, this is just a warm-up, so don't feel like it has to be perfect. We're just, typically, those of you, if you have not joined us before, I like to study an artist, kind of learn a little bit about them, give some resources, and then practice using some of their work, and then we incorporate it into ours. I love Monet too. Ooh, Edward Hopper, Georgia O'Keeffe, Dal Love Ibgar. Oh, Judith Churchill. I'm gonna have to look that person up. I've never heard of them before. Carolina. I love Monet too. Everyone should visit Giverny in France. Oh, I wish. One of these days, I'll go there to visit. All right, so this is shaping up-ish. It's a little chaotic, but it's okay. So you keep going. Let me see here. And while you're doing that, I'm gonna tell you a little bit more about Matisse. All right. He was born December 31st, 1869. I'm not going to try to say this, in France is what I'm going to say. Oh, Jane, thank you for adding more. I'm going to have to screenshot some of these. He did not initially plan to become an artist. Remember when I mentioned that? But he ended up, he got sick and somebody gave him a box of paints. Can you imagine, like... and he just fell in love, and somebody shared that he did not get into art school, but somebody helped him, a teacher did, right? Matisse came from a family of weavers and textile folks, so that's interesting. So to me, that means like he's seen some textile art. Have you seen some like awesome patterns? Oh, you know what? You see that in his work actually. Some of the paintings that he does, he incorporates. I'm just doing squiggles here, by the way. I'm just trying to go fast because can you believe it? It's 6:28. How does this happen every time? I'm just making crazy marks now. I think Jean was telling me it's because, I mean, sometimes people work ahead, which I love. I think that's awesome. I do not, as you can see, and I just wing it each time. I'm gonna add some blue here. I'm really just wanting to see how everybody else is doing. So I'm about to check in on you in a minute here. Mine is kind of looking wild. Summer cat painting is beautiful. Ooh, Barbara said summer cat painting is beautiful. We'll have to check that out. Just gonna add a little bit of green. Whenever I feel like things are not what it seems or what I want it to be, especially when I'm painting flowers, adding green just kind of helps me put things in perspective. Grounds things. Maybe that's why I like camping and exploring and hiking. I feel grounded when I add the green. I'm just adding the red right here. All right. Let's see. going to add some, what color? I think I'm gonna add a weird blue here. I'm leaving some white to mimic the white that he has on the painting. There's some black, so I'm gonna add that. And then in about 2 minutes, I'm gonna come in, or I'm gonna go around and see how you're doing. Doesn't that sound like a teacher? In 2 minutes, you gotta put your pencils down, and we're gonna and we're gonna see how you're doing. I say that in 2 minutes, and then I forget the time, and then I'm like, oh boy, we gotta check. Okay, I'm adding some gray. I don't know why, because I think it's just one of the ones that I ended up touching. Also, don't feel like you have to do this all now. You can go back and finish it because there'll be the recording. I mean, mine's pretty crazy, so I'm gonna leave that there for now, and I'm gonna check and see how you're doing, which is like my favorite thing, like I said. So those of you on YouTube, you're not gonna get to see the awesome art that folks are doing, but if you join us for next time, you will be able to. Okay, let's see. Janine on YouTube said if you screenshot the painting, maybe you could get to say the way. I know, I could do all that, but it's like messing. I'm just gonna leave it because I don't want to get stuck and then be like frustrated. Has that ever happened to anybody when you're just like, I have to figure this out, and then when you don't, it's like you have to learn to. I have to learn to let things go sometimes, and that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna let it go. Okay, so I'm super excited to see how yours is coming out. Let's see here. I always, full disclosure, whenever I'm doing this, I always feel like mine ends up looking so awful. And then I see the amazing things that you're doing, and it just brings me, and I hate to even use my name, but so much joy it brings me. Like, it makes me so happy. Okay, so we're gonna go through, and I'm just gonna show you, if you want to, oh my goodness, people are, how in the world? Those of you on Zoom, if you go to view and then switch it to gallery mode, you could see the beautiful, amazing artwork. Catherine, oh my gosh. I'm just gonna pin Catherine's for a minute. Look at that. Is that pastel, Catherine? That's what it looks like, Catherine Bunn. Is that pastel? It kind of is going away and coming back, but it looks like it is. You're muted, but that's okay if you want to just type it in. Laura, what? Laura, wait a minute. How did you, look how beautiful. How did you get that done so fast? Is that a mix of everything? Oh, it's so delicate and pretty. Watercolor pastels, Catherine says. Oh, Laura, what do you think about that? It looks so good. You like it? I love it. Okay, Miss Katz. Hi, Miss Katz. Good to see you. Molly. Let's look at Molly's. Whoa. Oh, that pink is just so vibrant. And you added, is that a boat? I love it. That's so cool. All right, and then I keep missing somebody. Okay, Sylvie. Let's pin Sylvie's for a minute. Barbara, I'm gonna come back to you. Ooh, oh, this is interesting. I love how Sylvie did squares to mimic the, oh, I see you. I like that. Instead of like doing it little by little, right? You did it, yeah, that's smart. Okay, so let's see, Barbara. Okay, let's hold it up. So look at Barbara's. Let's go visit Barbara's. I always feel like I have to go visit Barbara's artwork. Just jump right in there. Oh, Jane says, That's okay. In the chat, Jane is saying something, and I get that. I know. I had that in my brain, Jane. You're not alone. I had that in my brain for a minute, and I was just like, how do I turn this into a building? So please don't feel like you're alone in that. Okay, hold it up, please, so that I can take a picture. Okay. Awesome, awesome. And if I missed you, don't worry, share it with me on Facebook. Okay, hold it up, please. And if you want to smile, you can. But I'm going to count us in. 1, 2, 3, click. And then I'm going to do another click because we have a whole bunch of folks on spilling over to another page. 1, 2, 3, click. I see that, Heather. Awesome. Okay, now, how do we translate this into our own colorful landscape? All right. Let me spotlight for everyone. I'm going to go to another page in my sketchbook, which I'm just going to turn. Do you ever do this? Is your sketchbook filled like both sides? Sometimes I like to do one side, and then sometimes it's just both sides. So I'm just going to both side it and just turn it around. There we go. Okay. All right. So what was that, after doing that exercise, what is it that you like the most that you're going to incorporate? I'm going to incorporate the broken lines, and I really like the way Heather did the squares. So I'm going to steal that maybe, Heather. I'm not sure yet. So what is it that you liked when you were doing that? What really stands out to me is the colors too. It's just super duper colorful, and I love that. Okay, so we are going to now go to the next one. I try to get one that's similar. Okay, Marilee said, don't need to give details, just suggest the shape and the brain fills in the rest. Yes, I do like that. Sometimes I do that in emails where like I'm reading it too fast and then I have to be like, wait a minute, what did they just say? Because my brain just fills in whatever it is. But anyway, so this is our next page. So I'm just going to give you a minute to take a look. So how am I going to tackle this? Well, I like to keep the same color schemes as maybe what we did. So if you want to use a different piece of paper, that's fine. Or so then you can have your Matisse painting in front of you. Sometimes it's good to have the reference or like what you're trying to remind yourself when you're about to do a piece like this. So I'm going to keep it next to me or in front of me. Hopefully, let me see here. Okay. There we go. I want you to also be able to see it. So I want too much. I think that's what's happening. There, that works. So that's my photo. I'm just gonna paint in this little square, and I'm gonna try to keep in mind Matisse's work. So I'm gonna turn this green, beautiful green landscape. I'm gonna turn it pink. Let's see here. Sylvia says, I like the pinks and purples. Yes, I like that too. So I'm gonna turn that pink. So what we're doing is we're translating this. We're putting it into our own translator and our Matisse translator, and turning it into different colors, different, may I say, vibe. All right, so just totally different. Maybe I'll just sketch it real quick. So I'm going to do the mountain pink. In my sketching, when I'm sketching, it's just like a butterfly. You just think of yourself as a little butterfly fluttering along. Do not get bogged down into one zone or trying to make it perfect. We're just going to be jumping around. just like a butterfly or a bee, whichever one you would like, okay? It's totally up to you. All right, so I'm just going through, and this mountain range, I'm just gonna do it quickly here. And the water is blue, but I'm gonna use watercolor with that. Just to give myself a map. It's blue, though it has a little bit of green. That's just to remind myself that there's water there. Then I'm gonna draw the, what color did he use? It's like an orange. So I'm gonna draw the roof line. And I'm not doing the whole roof. This is watercolor pencil, so it kind of goes, it moves and dissolves. Adding the little windows. To remind myself. Then there's a big window here. And since Matisse has like windows that are blue, I'm also gonna turn those windows blue. Already, it's like different from our original photo. And let's keep in mind that way of working where it's like broken lines. So I'm gonna do that. Painting the background here. And then I'm going to use an oil pastel, and I'm just going to add broken lines wherever I feel like it should go. It's interesting that he had green too in the back of his mountain, so I'm going to add that. We're just being inspired by Matisse and his Fauvist style. I hope that's how you say it. And then I'm going to add the mountains. The gray mountains I'm going to turn into a different color. And they're kind of standing up, so I'm going to have that look of standing up. This is super sketchy. I'm just using my hand and being super loose. Broken lines everywhere. I'm going to take a red and just outline the mountain a little bit more. I hope you're doing okay. I'm going to take a yellow and do the roof line with the broken line too. So you can easily do this on your own when you're out in the out and about. If you like to plein air, does anybody like to do that? Do plein air painting? If you like doing that, try. Oh, Sally likes it. Okay, try that. Or even like look out your window. Sometimes there's some really amazing things that you could see just outside your window. Okay, I'm gonna refer back to the Matisse painting above, and I'm just gonna take some purple and maybe add it to my house. There's a bunch of yellow and purple, so I'm gonna do that. Okay, purple. I don't know about you, but my desk is a mess. That's just what happens when you're playing and throwing paint around. Mess happens. I'm just gonna take my tissue, which as you can see, I just kind of take a different corner and dab it. So it's a well-loved, it's a paper towel actually, a well-loved paper towel. Oh, I like that purple. Then I'm gonna add I do like the pink. I like his use of pink. So I'm going to put that there. And then let me look back. There's some blue. There's some interesting shapes here of squares. So I am going to just mimic that. Some yellow. Just kind of copying, turning the photo we had into like with Matisse's brush strokes. So I'm gonna go back and do the water. Just gonna do some broken lines all the way through. And then just to mix it up, I'm going to take watercolor and do more broken lines using watercolor. Different color blue. And I'm just using the brush, I'm just like plopping it sideways as I spill water everywhere. Just doing a lot of plopping. All right. I hope this is relaxing to you. After a long day, I just really look forward to creating with you all and then getting to sit down and just experiment. I really enjoy that. If you want to, you could add the deck. I just noticed that, but you don't have to. I'm just kind of making it up here. I'm just adding some extra squiggles in different spots, maybe where it should be dark. The sky, if you want to color the sky, let's see how Matisse did it. His sky was kind of like, almost like a peachy. So maybe I'll do that. I'm so excited to see how these look. Heather said highlight of my week. Oh, this is the highlight of my week too. I have been just like so looking forward to painting with you all. I was gonna say, if you did not get to go over the reference photo, there's a lot of resources there. There's a video about Matisse's granddaughter. That one's a pretty long video. It's like an hour long. And then there's some of his paintings. Just read a little bit more about him. So if at all you get a chance, please look over that. Those of you that are on YouTube, I am so sorry. The chat just flies by and I'm unable to keep up. So I will come back and definitely go back and check on that. But those of you with me on Zoom, let's continue on. And if you want to watch later, it will be on YouTube under Painting with Joy. It'll be under live and there's a playlist there. I'm just bringing these out by using my pencil. Does anybody else have that kind of like, I feel like I have to paint fast. Like I don't have patience. I'm an impatient painter sometimes, which I think makes me paint the way I do because I just want to go fast, get it done. Or sometimes I work on it and I let it dry and then I forget about it. Has anybody done that in their sketchbook where you're working on something and then all of a sudden you're like, whoops, I should really go back and finish that. Let me look at the mountains here. I love this color of turquoise. I hope I'm saying that right. So I'm going to add that. Those of you that just joined us, English is my second language, and so sometimes I don't know that I'm saying the word exact, so I really appreciate it when folks help me with the pronunciation. Sometimes I have to ask my children, I'm like, how do you say this word, please? They're kind enough to help, so. Okay, I'm just adding some red. Actually, I want to add pink. Why not? Add pink to this. I feel like it's missing some pink. I'm mimicking the same kind of look up here. So do you see how this could translate to like a painting, maybe a plein air painting? If you want to do like flowers, you can try this kind of vibe too. I think it's just fun. It's freeing, it's fun, it's Matisse inspired. There's no rules. You kind of just do what you want and what feels like comfortable. And it's actually like a chance to experiment, which sometimes when you have a photo like this, the mindset is, how do I make it look exactly like that? Where we're kind of breaking that mold and kind of just turning it around and flipping it to make sure that it's different, you know? So I'm just gonna, I'm gonna do my lines vertical instead of horizontal. How will that look? So yeah, don't be afraid to experiment. Slowly adding some more marks. You're not gonna believe this, but it's 6:52. How? How is that? This time flies by. Ooh, I see Catherine. Catherine took out a blow dryer. I love that. Oh my goodness, that looks amazing. You still have a little bit of time, so don't feel like you have to rush. But I just saw Catherine take out her blow dryer. I'm like, wow, smart. That's the one thing that I need to get probably. But there's the whole thing of plugging it in. Okay, so some of you might ask, Joy, what happens to this if I put it on each side, or I drew on each side, and then the oil pastel and the watercolor, what should I do? Well, you can keep it open so that it dries, but also I usually just put a piece of paper in between, and some people spray their work. I have not. I bought a spray back in 2021 and I have not used it, because to actually go outside to spray something, I get distracted and I just want to take a walk or something and not sit there and spray my work. So definitely, if that's something you want to do, please do it. I don't know that I kind of messed that up a little bit. So I have this little tool, blending tool, so I'm just gonna blend a little bit. Love the sound of that. Okay, so for homework, if you choose to accept it, if you choose to accept this challenge, is try to come up with your own landscape, maybe from outside, maybe a garden, maybe go visit somewhere, like somewhere mountainous, if you're going on a trip, and try to reinterpret like what you normally would see, like the greens, turn it to a different color. Just be inspired by this Fauves style. Trying to see here if there's anything else Matisse that I wanted to share with you. Let's see. One of the things that those of you that joined us a little bit later, one of the things that I shared was this favorite quote of mine from it's not my quote. It's Matisse's quote, this favorite quote that I love, which is, oh, there we go. Don't wait for inspiration. It comes while one is working. So try to keep that in mind. And maybe, if you're feeling down and you don't feel like working, or, sometimes it's great to just show up for yourself. I'm gonna have these they're pastel pencils, and I've not played with them a lot, so do you hear that? It makes such a nice sound. Can you hear that? It's like shik, 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 shik. I love it. So I'm going to try to add some of that. I feel like if I keep going, I'm going to overwork this, which to me, I guess there's no such thing. You just keep going. If you don't like something, I have done this. I've taken white paint, like acrylic paint, and just, I might not like this purpley madness going on, but I might just leave it. I usually have to step away from it for a little bit and then come back. All right, so 6:56. I'd like to check in on folks and see how your artwork is going. Let's see here. Let's see. Thank you all for just hanging with me tonight. I hope the homework makes sense. Where try to come up with a way of, landscape. I know Molly shared on the Facebook group. Molly showed us her beautiful view of mountains and so on. So Molly, I want to see if you can do some kind of reinterpretation of your mountainside. Just think about it. You don't have to do it, but just think about it. All right, so we have about 3 minutes, so I'd love to, sorry about my dog barking there, pin a few of yours. Here's Patty's. Oh my goodness, Patty. I love the super loose. I love that you're so loose with your watercolor paints. That's great. I love that. Can you see that? Those of you that, if you view gallery, I think if I pin somebody, you should be able to see them. I will now unpin you, Patty. Thank you for sharing. All right, let's see. Marilee. Oh, Marilee. Wow. What is that? What is that white, the white on the pink? Is that paint?
It's chalk paint, a Sharpie.
Oh.
It's this.
Nice. I love that. I didn't even think to use markers. I should have done that. So for next time.
I just grabbed everything in the bag.
That's my kind of artwork. Just grab everything and go. Oh, before people have to leave, I just want to take a quick picture of your beautiful artwork. And then we can, if you want to stay, you can. If you have to go, I totally understand. So if you would like to hold it up, and I will share this. I'm a little behind on sharing, so I'm gonna try to make sure to share these. Okay, I'm taking a picture now. 3, 2, 1, click, and then I'm gonna take a picture of page number 2. Don't go. Hold it up real quick, just in case. 3, 2. Thank you, Carol. 3, 2, 1. Click. Awesome. All right. So those of you on YouTube, thank you so much for joining us. Those of you on Zoom, if you want to stay, we'll just go through and look at other people's artwork some more. But thank you so much, and see you next month. Those of you in Zoom. All right. I mean, in YouTube.